I've sort of found myself in this loop where I'll be watching too many videos and not creating as many videos as I'm watching, and therefore I'm only kind of just like recreating tutorials. So for the past month, I took a break from watching tutorials, watching anything online, and even making anything online, and swapped it around to just creating, and it really did change the game for me. Here's the problem. A lot of videos that are posted online are usually used to be clickbait and follow the trends of the algorithm. Now, there are some fortunate creators out there who can just usually make whatever they want and they do well. And those are probably the mega influencers, those who we really look up to, and the stuff that they make doesn't necessarily have to follow trends. But the vast majority of creatives out there have to create trendy videos, like myself. How to create, if you are running, almost replicate. I have perfected, and therefore you're creating videos for trend over education, and perhaps it's not as necessary as what you should be learning about. And if you don't believe me, here's the biggest thing. Cameras are prioritized over storytelling. If you think about the biggest videos that you watch all the time, the thing that your news feed is filled up with on YouTube, it's usually not how to tell better stories. It's either a video about the R5, the Sony FX6, the Sony a7S III, or some other big camera brand. But if you talk to any true filmmaker, they will tell you that it's not about camera, it's about... You're saying, you're like, Zach, I watch other YouTube tutorials to get inspired and it has made me a better filmmaker. I know, me too. I've done the exact same thing. I watch YouTube tutorials to develop my craft, and if anything, that's made me the filmmaker that I am today. But there is a limit, and the limit is sort of watching too many, because once you start just over-consuming all of these, you stop making your own content and start just making Frankenstein versions of other people's things. You get over-influenced by one creative, and therefore that becomes you. But that's not you. And so what I like to do is sort of my 10% rule, where I'll watch 10% of whatever my newsfeed's giving me, or 10% of a tutorial, or 10% of something to get what I need out of it, and then I'll like move forward and make my own stuff from that. Using tutorials, gear reviews, short films, other people's creativity as a launch point, not as my main focus. What I found when I was watching a lot of other people's content constantly was the fact that I wasn't doing my own stuff. I was just like comparing every single thing that I was doing to other people's stuff. And therefore I wasn't creating original stuff. I wasn't creating stuff that inspired me, and I wasn't experimenting with curiosity. Your brand is built off of curiosity, not the footsteps of others. So is that it? Is that it for tutorials? You're no longer gonna watch YouTube videos? No, I don't recommend that. In fact, watch stuff, get inspired, get out there, but just get inspired enough. Don't get overwhelmed by needing the next piece of gear, needing this transition pack, this LUT pack, this thing that everyone else has, because your biggest strong suit in this whole game of filmmaking and creativity is your curiosity and your experimentation. Like this angle. I have no idea if this is a good angle, but I think it works. I want you to think of social media or high school or politics. Usually, anything trendy or popular always overrides necessity. The popular kid might get more attention from all your classmates, and that might seem like the most important thing. You'll try wearing what they wear, talking the way they talk, doing the same habits and routines that they do, but only to realize that that's not you, and you kind of just become something you're not. That's because it's trendy, it's popular, but it's not necessarily a necessity. And the online space for making tutorials is kind of the exact same thing. Myself, being an up-and-coming creative or someone who doesn't have the amount of influences to publish whatever they want, starts making stuff that follows trends. And as soon as a trend is set, more people start making more and more trendy things. And what ends up happening is you have a flood of tutorials that kind of seem like that's a necessity. Things like color grading, transitions, trendy effects. But myself, amongst all other creatives, know that movies on sound design won't do well, even though it's one of the most important things, so we don't talk about it. And we'll publish one video, it won't get popular, and therefore we'll lose interest from collaborations with brands, building our channel, so we will avoid things that are necessary in order to build our brands. But that's not what you should think is important. Just because metrics and numbers say that something is important doesn't necessarily mean that it is. So sometimes just because it's popular doesn't mean it's important. It just means it's interesting. But interesting doesn't propel everything. This angle does. This angle's super cool. I really love it. It's like Casey Neistat meets Jesse Driftwood. Really dig it. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. It gave me a good excuse to rip around Vancouver and talk to camera. If you like what I said or even dislike what I said, please let me know below. I want to know, do you think this video was really worth it? Am I talking a load of gibberish? Or if it was valuable, please feel free to share it with all your friends. That would be super helpful. And that's about it, guys. If you're curious about what this setup is, I'm using a tripod attached to my waist, kind of just pressing against my crotch area. It's not really that comfortable, to get this weird, like, snorri cam vibe. And then I'm on a one wheel. But that's it, guys. Before I knock someone off their bicycle, howdy. I'm gonna stop doing this. But that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Keep making this great stuff, and I'll see you all in another video. Don't follow trends or popularity just because it's popular.